Hello, hello, and welcome back to Retrieving Sanity with your podcast host, Keegan. And this is your podcast for all mental health, addiction recovery issues, and topics. And I've got a question for you, real quick. Are you feeling unmotivated, or do you need some help turning some trauma into some tools instead of having it weigh you down? I've got some good news for you. They say that you can't, they say you can't lead where you haven't been. And if that's true, then my guest today has a map for some of the darkest terrains of the human experience. Shaun Murphy, known to the world as Mr. Motivation, started life with what he calls three strikes against him: poverty, a father lost to tragedy at a young age, and a childhood split between Barbados and Brooklyn. He took that pain into the U.S. Army and then into the classroom at special education as a teacher and professor, and now is at the stage as a spoken word artist and author of the book uh Unbreakable Valor. I
Yes,
almost said
sir.
unspeakable. Unbreakable Valor. He is a man who turned the script on trauma into something entirely different. So, Shaun, how are you doing today, Mr. Motivation?
Whew. Dope intro. You did some homework.
I mean, kind of got to, you know?
Yeah. Nah, I'm blessed, man. Beautiful day. Happy Tuesday to wherever you are listening and viewing. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Of
it.
course. I'm super excited to have you on. And I also got to say thank you for your service, because it's one of those things a lot of people go into it and kind of come out of the service field and just are honestly a little bit messed up
Mhm.
afterwards because of one thing or another. But I digress. Why don't
Sure.
you tell us all about yourself, like your background, what got you into being what made Mr. Motivation Mr. Motivation?
Loaded, brother. Loaded. All right. So, no, Brooklyn dude. I again known as Mr. Motivation. My my family, my mom's is from Barbados, so a
Okay.
lot of my upbringing was in the Caribbean, Caribbean island, Barbados.
Hmm.
Um, Army vet, um, and to those listening and viewing, a lot of things I talk about is about oftentimes we get bogged down with our circumstance and not really allow ourselves to dream because of where we are. And I'll share with some of my story, not to brag or boast, but just to
Uh-huh.
share the journey.
Yeah, yeah.
College dropout, man, 15 plus years later, now I teach a college course on how to be successful in college, right? Um, life's a comedian. And I've taught middle school, high school, college. Someone who never liked reading and writing, struggled. Now, published author, Unbreakable Valor, Triumph Through the Soul of Resilience.
Mhm.
Right? I use, my story, my background, and I'm hoping as I tell these things and how I sidestep them, that it becomes the blueprint for someone going through a similar challenge. You talk about, you mentioned, I grew up, my father was murdered when I was
Mm,
6. I never knew him. And, I always
mm.
wondered then, how do I become a dope dad if I never seen one? Well,
Yeah, yeah.
listeners and viewers, I just dreamt what I wish I had and I 10x that, right? Um, and today I have my daughter 9, dope gymnast. I'm here counting the years before we hit the Olympics.
Ooh.
My son, 6, he's jiu-jitsu, track,
Ah,
chess whiz.
ooh.
Um, you know, I'm someone who has no music background, and it's to all the people that to dream big, and don't listen to no one that tells you can't do it. I have
Yeah.
no music background. 4 years ago, I went into 5 years ago, I went into speaking, and
Mhm.
I was like, I want to differentiate myself as a speaker. And I always had, a love for like poetry, and I'm from Brooklyn, so shouts out to the J Big, love my Will Smith homie, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
Common. And I think Amy always wanted to, I just want to be a rapper. I just didn't see the journey there, right?
Yeah.
And I decided to just do it, and I went into his first spoken word poetry, and then I did one song on my first album, and I
Mm.
was like, this was hard, but I like it. And I
Oh.
just leaned in, and now, I probably released, I don't know, 15 plus songs.
Mhm.
So, and now I'm performing on stages as a speaker and a musician. And when I do presentation, I merge both. So it's
Ooh.
like keynote meets concert. And when I tell people I live the dream, it's not a catchphrase. This is literally, I think things up and I just go all in. I
Mhm.
bet on me.
Yeah.
I don't listen to anyone, any outside voices. I encourage you to have a small circle of people you trust and you value their opinion. Doesn't mean you have to follow what they say, but you
Mhm.
take it under consideration and
Yes.
then you make the decision and push and go forward. So
Mhm.
that's a high level, who I am, how I got here, and you can decide which direction we go in.
Oh man, that is quite the background. And I mean, I just got to say thank you for pushing through all of it because damn, that must have been one hell of a journey, you know.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine having lost your father like so young because just I mean, my father's been pivotal in my life, whether it be because he caused wounds or he was just kind of there, you know,
Mhm.
being the father figure. But at the same time, it's one of those things that a lot of people go through, whether they lose their father or parental figure at an early
Mhm.
age, and it just kind of sticks with them. So, what do you say to those that have experienced something similar? How do you suggest getting like a role model of sorts, or
Yeah, yeah. No, no. Great, great, great question. You can never go wrong with a role model, and
mm,
how should I say this? Because sometimes we think we can do it alone, and that's absolutely not the case.
no,
Absolutely not the case. I always tell people, and I was just talking to this to my college course yesterday. You, it's almost like a personal board of directors. I call it a SEAL Team Six. And you
mm,
could apply this to different things. And if it's a specific to dealing with loss, dealing with trauma, maybe it's someone who has experienced this thing and they can't feel exactly what you went through, but they can share step strategies and systems they've used to overcome, right?
mm,
Tangentially associated just having people, because you said role models that triggered a thought. SEAL Team Six, six people you need to help you go next level. The doubter, this is the person that
ooh,
sees the blind spots. Because see, when we got a vision idea, we want to go, we just want to go. And you
yeah,
got the blind spot. Well, if you do this gonna happen. Did you think about this? And
mm,
you hate this person, but you love them too.
yeah,
You got the instigator. This person just keeps you fired up about whatever you're doing. You got the
ooh,
example. This is someone who is doing what you want to do at a high level. And if
mm-hmm,
you study what they've done, you can reverse engineer it and apply the same steps and
ooh,
kind of mirror that, like clone what they've done.
mm-hmm,
The
okay,
taskmaster. This is the person, your accountability partner. Some of you check with daily, weekly, and monthly.
mm-hmm,
Are you hitting your benchmarks? What challenges are you having? What's some obstacles? How can we overcome those? And the last two, remember this journey in life is long, and the bigger you dream, the bigger the obstacles, the bigger the setbacks. And even if you don't dream big, you're still gonna have big obstacles, big setbacks.
mm-hmm,
But you need the cheerleader because it's going to be
ooh,
a tedious journey and you need somebody to just tell you you are amazing and
mm-hmm,
the thing you're working on is going to be great, and just those words of encouragement helps you keep going, right?
mm-hmm, yeah,
And
yeah,
lastly, the connector. This is the person that gets you in the rooms you can't get in on your own. This is the person that advocates for you on
mm,
your behalf in your absence. You
uh-huh,
need this person. So these are six people. Because I often say, at funerals, you got those jokers that the pallbearers is holding you up. Don't hold me up. No, no, hold me up while I'm here. I want to carry me. Let's go together.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The caskets dropping, you dropping flowers. So and
mm-hmm,
so is a good person. They changed my life. Did you tell them that while they were here? You got to
ooh, yeah,
give people their flowers while they're here. So that's all connected. But yeah, definitely seek out people, your tribe, to help you go next level.
okay. I love that kind of analogy right there. The 6 people that are going to take care of different facets for your essential well-being
Check.
and trying to essentially go where you haven't been before, right? Because
Mhm.
whenever we're dealing with trauma and stuff, a lot of it is largely unknown to us in the moment, because
Mm,
there's not really a way to sit there and say like, "Oh, I knew that this was going to happen and this is how I'm going to take care of it in the future." Whenever trauma strikes, it's usually pretty sudden and abrupt, right?
mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah. It's funny you say that because I think about because sometimes we be walking around and dealing with trauma and not know it, right?
Oh, mhm,
There's this book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I think T. Harv Eker, and it talks about like your origin. How did you
mhm,
grow up? What was your association with money? And you could assign this to any category in your life. And I'll give you a quick example. The one lady, um, her mom and dad were arguing about money,
mhm,
and the dad they in a restaurant, and the dad collapses, heart attack, out of there.
mm,
And as she moved forward in life, she would just give away money. The money she always burn it, spend it, whatever, and it was
mhm,
attached because it was a trauma connected to her
mm,
dad losing her dad. It was arguing about money, and now she just don't, subconsciously don't want money. And she like,
mm,
why am I always broke? So you got to go back and do some soul searching, some history. How'd you grow up? What was the origin story for you? Label the thing and start to rewrite the story, right? Because
mhm,
our minds are like a program. You got to control or delete sometimes, and you got to rewrite the script. So
mhm,
that's something I think that we can apply as well to trauma. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Along with going through but therapy, whatever kind of things that can help you unearth that thing and just deal with it.
Okay. So, do you try to use the SEAL Team 6 to help you deal with your trauma, or is it just SEAL Team 6 is more or less the people that believe in you whenever you can't believe in you, right?
Yeah, SEAL Team Six. So you can do it one of two ways. I always say
Okay.
you got personal and you got professional. And
Mm,
however you want to assign people, because at the end of the day, like the work starts with you, right? Identifying, all right, who either has walked this walk and can help me, or is a subject matter expert and can help me.
mhm,
Share with them what you're going through and the ask of what you want to hey, listen, I need you to help me. Like, how did you do this? I'm going through this thing. I need some help. And here's the other thing, especially with dudes, we don't ask for help.
no.
Historically, we don't ask for help. I grew up in the hood, and my hood, it was just like we could be dealing with some things, but you're not gonna say I'm struggling with this thing. You like, oh, you emo, you your emotions, beat it. They poo poo you. But I
Mhm,
tell you, as I grew and matured and started reading extensively, Brene Brown really helped me open my eyes to the
mm,
power of vulnerability.
mm,
It's a superpower. She said, if you're not in the ring, face smart, and you just been fighting with me, you can't judge me. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And that's I think another her book, Daring Great. She has this TED talk, 2 hour. I'm not Team Brene Brown, but I am Team Brene Brown. Right?
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I don't know who that can help, but definitely tap into that, especially dudes if you're dealing with the struggling with being vulnerable. Like Brene Brown has some good tools and strategies. I'll tell you what's helped me though.
Okay.
I've never, not to say subscribe to therapy, but never did it. But writing, I started
Mm,
writing
mhm.
and the music, and I actually start sharing. Actually, listen, things I haven't talked about in buku years. I just did a song that dropped it in July. Letter to
Uh-huh.
Dad, letter to my dad.
Mm,
I haven't really talked about that dude like in life. And one day I'm in my mom's crib, and me and her just in the crib. She doing her thing, but her presence is just
yeah,
it's
yeah.
home. And I just started writing the story. Like, what would I say to him? And it was just like this is weight lifted. Like I've been
Mm,
carrying this forever, but now I'm like, yeah, this is what I would say to you. So
mhm.
that will find your outlet. You know what I mean? Find your outlet. But music has been therapy for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, music is definitely therapy for myself as well. And it, I heard it put one way before, and I thought it was really cool because it was music is too vague. No, it wasn't vague. It was too accurate to put to words, like how
Mhm,
it invokes those emotions and
mhm.
how it's like we can't describe what it actually does for us because it's just so powerful.
Yeah,
A-
yeah.
And you also said something about you don't know who sharing that bit of information would help. And I mean, is that kind of how you went about doing the music or writing the book? You didn't really know who was going to help, or did you have an idea that this is what you wanted, like, your legacy to be?
So a couple things. So I think you know that you noted I was a special ed teacher,
Mm,
and in the classroom, that's why I really got my eyes open to differentiating instruction. People learn more visually,
mhm,
auditory, they write on the board, and I've approached that with my creative process.
okay.
So if I do, for example, I did this one father son presentation, and I would perform. I think I performed the bunker. That's like high energy, and then I did like words, the power of words, which is like more spoken word, but it got like the flutes. And then
Mm,
I did why, which is also more spoken word, but it got a hip hop hook, dope beat. And at the end, it was an audience of from 18 to 80, all men. And the feedback, the young boys like, dang, OG, you was talking that talk, but that ain't really hit me. When you did words with the flutes, then the other guys like, yo, like the different things hit you differently.
mhm,
So I think whether subconsciously or not, but now I'm intentional with it. When I'm presenting, I'm switching up how it's getting delivered because I want to help as many people as possible. When I went into music, so I used to listen to Adam Won't Lose. Hopefully one day I meet him and they'll just give him some more flowers. But I talk about him every time I can. And
okay.
he's like, dear hard work, I used to hate you. You made me better. And I'm like, he's just talking, but it's over some beats.
Uh-huh.
And I used to listen to this all the time. Then I had my Les Brown moment, like, wait, I could do this, you know? And that was one of the things that inspired me because as I'm in the classroom teaching, I taught high school at this point, high school, middle school, and college. And I
Uh-huh.
found, man, bro, a lot of our scholars just struggle with self-doubt, struggle with clarity, where they going in life, what's next, what's
Mhm,
after that. They can't see past tomorrow. And I was like, wow. I know when I teach, I got about 10 to 20 in here that's getting this game. But there's someone in Japan, Australia, Africa, California that needs this. How can I reach them? And then I decided to create a platform, Mr. Motivation, speaking, and then it just morphed into the spoken word and the music. Now, I'm one of those dudes, like I read to I consume content to teach, right?
mhm, yeah,
And I probably got 2 or 3 books sitting in my drive that ain't done yet about my life story, about failure. And
mhm,
I had one in there, and I did a talk in Allentown. And this guy, Ron James, brought me up there to give a talk at a middle school, high
okay,
school. After
mhm,
Ron and I sat down, shouts out to Sir Dominic Jordan because he was the plug. And Ron's like, hey, Murph, where's your book? Your book is your business card.
ooh,
I said, huh. From that moment, I was on a direct path to publishing, right?
mm,
And this is probably 3 years ago, right?
mhm,
And I just 3 days ago spoke to Ron. He hit me on TikTok. I didn't have his number. He hit me on TikTok, and I was like, "Yo, Ron, your ears should be ringing. I've been giving you praises for years." And he said, "Hey, call me tomorrow." Called him, and I told him. He said, "Man." And remember, sometimes in life, you just never know where that inspiration is going to come from, where that person that's going to push you like that flame up under you. And
mhm,
sometimes you almost there. And for me, I had something started, but Ron hit me, man. We got finished. I got with 30s and Joan Publishing, and we produced the book, and we just dropped it in May. So now I have this thing. It's like the gift to the world, right? Because
mhm,
remember, listeners and viewers, it's not about making money. You're not chasing money. It's like, what are you giving? Why are you leaving this world when you're gone? What's your legacy? You know what I
mhm,
mean? And for me, this is one of my gifts to the world. And I'll push out many more. And I'll add this and I'll close out because I can talk. One of my other reasons for going to the speaker route and going into music, I told my kids, I said, listen,
mhm,
to be successful in life, you don't gotta be smart or talented. If you put in that focus, you got that effort, you can do anything. Daddy don't know nothing about this music, but
Mhm.
I'm committed to learning. I'm willing to, and this is what we don't do, good people. I'm willing to, like a buffoon. I'm willing to stink it up for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe three. But
Mhm.
eventually, if I consistently practice and
Mhm.
seek out more knowledge, more experience, I'm gonna get there. And 3 years later, removed, right? I'm
Mhm.
at this event, Launch Music Fest in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Lancaster. And I came off for about 20 minutes set, came off stage. I'm hyped. My daughter runs up. She said, Daddy, you said you was gonna do this. This is amazing. And bro, I don't gotta make $5 off of none of this. For
Mhm.
them to see that example, I
Mhm.
didn't know how to do this. It was hard. Didn't want to do it. Was tired, but leaned into that discomfort.
Mhm.
That's where you grow, good people. Not in comfort, not in the comfort zone. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. You got to push past that. You got to say, you know what? I'm willing to stink it up for 2 years to get it right, and then I'm gonna push forward. They say, do it till you get it right, and then keep doing it till you can't get it wrong.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, keep doing it until you can't get it wrong. I love that because it's not so much that you mastered it or whatever. It does remind me of my skateboarding days. Whenever you got a trick and you got it on lock, you could do it almost anytime, whenever, wherever, and you got it.
Check.
You know, but there was something that you said in there about. I was kind of hearing intentionality,
Mm.
and I feel that you are probably a lot more intentional with your time, your energy and stuff nowadays than you were probably 3, 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, super intentional. Um, Yeah, well, my primary role in life now, I'm a stay-at-home dad, so
Mhm.
everything's about to become the chief operating officer of the house. Okay,
Oh,
where they need to be, what they need to be doing, what they need to be wearing, got it.
yeah.
So everything else is built around that, their schedule and their world. So intentionality, I don't sleep much. It's not. Yeah, we just talking about this circadian rhythm. I need my normal sleep pattern, and
Yeah.
but for me to get everything in, I gotta maximize every hour.
Mhm.
So I'm up at 4:30 on it. Like my first call is 06, and
Wow.
it's just like productivity is so important. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because for me, I value being able to take them where they need to be, chilling. I told my son he's sick. I said, "Hey, don't ever get too big for snuggles. I need my snuggles. Be on
Yeah.
next snuggle time." So all of that's a primary for me. Now everything
Mhm.
else, and I mean, if I rattle off all the hats I wear, you be like, "How does he do it?" But it's being intentional. Absolute calendar management, time management. There's one of my favorite books, Dr. Kennedy. Oh man, what he used to say? It's a time management book, but it
Mm.
was like be oh, I'm forgetting the quote now. Overprotective with your time.
Ooh.
Overprotective with your time. When you ask me to do something, first thing I'm saying is how long is this gonna take? I
Yeah.
would tell you how long
Yeah.
is it gonna take, and
Uh-huh.
everything goes on the calendar. You know what I'm saying? I have a dope team. Shouts out to Miss Sharon and Miss Ella. They manage the calendar. They're overprotective of my calendar.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of is the foundation for where that my intentionality comes from.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, everything I do is super intentional. Like even with songs, I'm like, all right, what I want to talk about? Like, this is a thing, it's a reoccurring thought. Okay, let's talk about this. Who can
Mhm.
I help with this?
Yeah.
And that's how I lead. Like, how can I help? How listen, if I meet you somewhere and we exchange LinkedIn, I'm first thing I'm gonna say is, listen, how can I be of service? Hit me up.
Mhm.
I lead with offering my service.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that because it actually leads right into my question because on the topic of intentionality, I had a guest on not too long ago. His name was Matt Von Becklin, and he had a big struggle with kratom addiction and created something to help people kick kratom addiction. And he said something that I don't think he realized what he said was quite the banger because he said, uh, Being intentional is rewarding yourself for giving yourself responsibility. If you're able to take responsibility for bringing other people joy or helping other people, then you might find yourself feeling way better than you thought you would have
Mhm,
in your quest for that existential answer.
mhm,
And just hearing what you were saying, I was like, "Ooh, I love that," because
mhm.
it's just all right there. And you being a stay-at-home father, I mean, your whole purpose is to bring joy to the house, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that a lot. That's actually a really dope quote. Um, one of the books that I read, I actually helped just even shift mindset. The Go Giver.
Mhm.
It talks about the six laws of stratospheric success, but the last law is the law of receptivity. So you lead with giving, and the
Mhm.
last law is where you allow yourself to receive. See, the universe will reward you, and
Mhm.
and it's not about doing things for the reward, because it will reward you more if you do it anonymously.
Yep.
So you know what I mean. You just do it, and then when you do that, it's just a new habit. It's a new routine. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And for me, I may have the cheat code because I'm grounded in service, 8 years Army, um, been a leader. Leaders eat last. Everything's about the people. I
Mhm.
always go last. I'm like, because here's the thing, and think about how I grew up in the struggle, in survival mode. Like I can figure it out. But I
Mhm.
think about, I got service members and vets that die by suicide daily, right?
Mhm.
And they didn't figure it out. And I'm like, I'm like forever staff Shaun Murphy. Like I'm gonna figure it out. I'll make sure you're good. And I
Yeah.
think that's something I've just carried with me, and it's in the family and the home and other businesses. That's just how I operate. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take care of someone. I'm gonna take care of the people. I'm just that confident that I'm gonna be all right if I don't have all the things.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's just one of the signs of a good leader, right? Someone that's willing to kind of put themselves a little bit last so
Hmm.
that everyone else can come out on top. But
Exactly.
whenever like that's a really hard role to play and fill, and I know how tough it can be because it can be quite lonely. There's not a lot of people that are in that same like mindset. They're not in the same like just go get it kind of thing. And it's a lot of, like, independence, It is a lot of, like, I can take life on, I'll figure it out, I'll help those that haven't got a clue or are struggling and stuff like that. So, real quick, to your fellow veterans out there, is there anything that you would like to say to them if they're struggling with their service or anything like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Well, one thing comes to mind. When we were in the military, especially let's think back to basic. I'm speaking specifically the army, but the message goes across sectors.
Mhm.
We had a battle buddy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Why do we stray away from that? You know what I mean? Who's your battle buddy? One of the things I do, good brother, I'll randomly just text people. I'll go through my phone, swipe it up, text, hey teammate, don't want nothing, checking in on you. Just remember you're a rock star. Always appreciate you. Double salute. Bang. Right? They don't even
Yeah.
have to respond back. Because what happens is we don't know what who's on the other end of this receiving message, what they dealing with. You don't know what that might have did for them. I had
Mhm.
a battle buddy. I used to check in on him. He was a E8, so high leadership. And
Mhm.
I'd be, yo, my G, you good? And he retired. So I'm like, he should be excited.
Yeah, yeah.
But he said, Murph, my time in the military, like, my phone's always ringing. I'm always needed. I gotta solve a problem. I gotta help somebody. But
Mhm.
when I retired, my phone stopped ringing.
Mm.
All right. He said,
Yeah.
and that has been hard for him, or was hard for him. And I was just
Mhm.
like, sheesh, here I'm thinking, you free. You ain't gotta deal with Uncle Sam no, you ain't gotta do PT. And he's like, nah, I'm alone.
Mm.
So we got to remember, y'all, we got to tap into whether it's veteran service orgs, different groups, find a new hobby. We got to find a new tribe because when
Mhm.
we transition, we lose that sense of community, that camaraderie. I think you just gotta, be intentional and
Mhm.
just reach out to people. And this is for people that's don't need help. Reach out to your back because you don't know what they're dealing with. And
Mm.
just check up. I call them wellness checks.
Yeah.
Um, and it just goes a long way.
Yeah, yeah, I love wellness checks. I'm so glad that you do that for your fellows out there
Mhm.
because you, like you said, you never know whenever someone's really going through it. And sometimes those messages hit exactly at the right time.
Yeah, yeah,
And one of the things I'm also kind of hearing is that you really are like a warrior for connection, because in a sense, like you didn't have that connection that you needed growing up. And then
mm,
you went through a lot in between that until you went into the military. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you even had a stint of homelessness after the military. And then you are now doing this. And it's like you're kind of letting everyone know that connection is always there. You just kind of got to reach out for it, right? Like it feels like it's the ultimate lifeline of the sorts.
yeah, yeah. It's funny you say that. So my team, Mr. Motivation Productions,
Mhm.
our like one of our foundational concepts is transformational connections.
Mm.
And like, yeah, you just never know. Like for me, I'll get up and I'll do a talk. I might spit a poem. I might do a song. You don't know what is gonna just reach out and touch. I had a guy, Marine.
Mm.
He came up to me after a show. He said, "Mr. Motivation, I'm deaf, but I heard and felt everything you said up there today, and I just want to say I appreciate you." And I'm like, bro, right? You just
Uh-huh.
never know, man. Somebody, I think in France, this when I first started. This before I knew what I was doing and how I was helping people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Buddy sends me a DM. He said, "Listen, you don't know me, but I listened to your song Why, and it literally saved my life."
Oh.
Buddy, I was like, "Real? Wow." Like, what do you say to that? You know, what do you say? Well, I keep showing up.
Yeah,
I got to keep showing up.
yeah,
And I don't worry about, the dopamine stuff, the likes, the shares, because I know it's helping someone somewhere. I'll never know, probably, unless they tell me one day, but and that's why you do what you do. It's that grounded in selfless service. I do this to give this my gift to the world. So yeah, man, that's a little bit. That's how I move.
yeah. Yeah, I love that because it kind of reminded me of, whenever you shop at Sam's or Walmart,
Mhm.
the employees,
Yep.
they have the vest on the back and it says "Happy to help." And I worked there for a while over at Sam's Club, and I mean, "Happy to help," it just stuck in my head.
Mm,
And but whenever I thought about it, it was like, oh, like that actually makes a lot of sense. Like I want to be happy to help someone,
mm.
and that's kind of what you're saying with that selfless service,
Check.
like it's if it's not something that you're pulling from the good of your heart, then it's essentially not necessarily meaningless or
Hmm.
less, but it's lacking a little bit of magic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you got to do it. You got to do it, man. Yeah. Just got to dig deep and want to do it. But this is the thing: you can't want nothing in return.
Yeah, yeah.
You just got to move in that spirit of like happy to help. I love that. I got to do something with that. Happy to help.
Yeah.
Happy to help. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do on that because it's powerful.
Yeah. I mean, it really is all about shaping like our words. And
Yeah.
because some people say that words are spells, and you're someone that sits there and you work with music, you work with words. And so one of the first things that I thought of honestly was back in the day, I had a coffee shop that was local and back home, and they would have open mic night, and some people
Mm,
would do slam poetry and stuff.
mm.
And I remember slam poetry, I was like, ah, man, like I would love to do some of that stuff, like get my heart out there, just like vent, and like y'all have to hear about all my problems. And like
Right. Right.
is that something that like you kind of saw and was like, I want to go speak on a mic, because some people, they see a microphone and they're like, no. They just don't want to do it.
You know, that's a good question. Um, I, anyone would tell you one of my favorite lines is like, you might ask me a question. I said, let me tell you a story. Right. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite quotes is, never make a point without telling a story, and never tell a story without making a point.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and I don't know where it started. I have to go. You done gave me some homework. I think I was just driven by like how to increase my impact by creating
Mhm.
a platform.
Mhm.
Um, and I started with, how did I start? Oh, I think well, hey, for listeners and viewers, you got to be on a journey of self mastery. Okay,
Yeah.
I've taken so many courses and podcast, like webinars, and I'll spend 2 hours on something to get the content, and I'm going to watch it or listen to it 3 times. So that's the thing you got to do. Course from scratch. Danielle, I forget her last name. I was in there trying to create a course.
Mhm.
I think to help military veterans after they transition. Excuse me.
Mhm. You're fine.
But I ended up meeting someone, Marge Empire, who was
Mhm.
in Course from Scratch. I think she was just poaching, but she had her own course to help.
Mhm.
It was coaching or speakers. I don't know, but it was like a series of courses.
Mhm.
After Marge's, I think I jumped into Next Level Speaking Academy with
Mhm.
Jeremy Anderson, which I've been in for over 5 years.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I was like, oh, the speaking thing. And paired with Les Brown was one of my virtual mentors. I used to just love Les, how he storytell. I'm like, you know what? I could do that. And it kind of just came together, you know what I mean? Because I was supposed to do the life coaching, but then the speaking thing is like, you know what? I can tell a story, and I got real intentional
Mhm.
with being able to tell my story. Because I'm not like the opening, middle, close. No, 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 no. We're gonna have some fun up there,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's not what they teach you in these speaking things. So I would take a little bit of thing. I'm a professional thief. I take a little bit from the speaking academy. I take a little bit from the course from scratch. I did a Toastmaster. I only went to about 3 of them. There was like a little stuffy for me, but I took some stuff from them,
Uh-huh.
and then I just created the Mr. Motivation, persona,
Yeah.
and I've been just working on that I mean, bro, you wouldn't even believe that this. I've had vocal coach. Yeah, bro, when I lock in, buddy, all the way in, because
Mhm.
remember now I'm doing this thing that I I didn't come up doing, so I got to go over the learning curve of the years I don't have of experience, and
Mhm.
I'm like, all right, well, what do the greats have? The greats have coaches. Okay, well, Murph getting a coach,
Yeah.
why not me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I take this serious.
Uh-huh.
I respect the craft.
Mhm.
So I've been. I think you hit it in the head with intentionality. To just get better every day. How do I get better? So yeah.
Yeah. And you said something about kind of all chips in,
Mhm,
on what
mhm.
you're doing whenever you're locked in, you're just throwing everything
Yeah.
to achieve that goal. But did it come to you having that mindset after figuring out like, oh, I didn't put enough into something and so therefore I lost it or anything like that? Or was it just something that you saw other people do and you were like, I'm going to model that and see how it works for me?
One of the things you got to do, right? Whenever
Mhm.
you want to do something, you got a concept idea you're passionate about,
Mhm.
is overwhelm your space with all the like things, right?
Mm.
So I give you an example, like
Okay.
when I wanted to go into real estate,
Uh-huh.
I think I was Grant Cardone. I'm like in his university.
Mhm.
Brandon, I forget Brandon name, Brandon last name. He's in the real estate, the Burr method. I'm on the webinars. I'm on like all the things. Again, all in. I'm at the auctions, the sheriff sales, just sitting down, watching who goes up. What are they doing? This lawyer keeps going over these 5 people. He's someone I need to know. I'm all in. And
Uh-huh.
now I'll back up. I'm a guy that's like multitasking. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do teaching. I'm this. And one of my guys, he gifted me a book one day.
Uh-huh.
The one thing. He said, Murph, you gotta lock in on one thing. Now, I still have multiple things going.
Uh-huh.
Trust and believe.
Yeah, yeah.
However, comma, especially in the early stages, you got to put in them hours. I thought was it 21,000 hours, something crazy. You got to just put in the work. Your studying has to be just insane. Like before you go to bed, what are you doing? You should be in a book. I just got a guy. Matter of fact, my guy Daryl, he just called me, one of my OGs. But he want to get into real estate. And I said,
Mhm.
bro, that has to become your life. And he just
Mm.
texted me. He said, "Yo, G, I just spent 5 days on a course with Brandon. This thing's amazing. I know, but now you got to go to networking events. You got to go on Facebook groups. You got like your work, your feed, unfollow everybody. Follow everything that got to do with real estate. Everything got with
Mm.
financing, banking, creative financing. This has to become your world. So
Mhm.
that's what I do. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Now I'm in the space where I just bought into a basketball team. I'm CEO of this semi-pro basketball team. So
Ah.
my new world is basketball. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
it's my new world. And,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and and that's just how it is. And now remember, the law of attraction. You start
Mhm.
speaking about this thing, real estate, real estate, real estate. You're gonna start meeting investors that just come in. You think it's magic. No, if you want to listen to rock and roll, you don't tune into the Christian station, right? So if you
Yeah.
want to listen, if you want to do this thing, you got to change your frequency. Everything has to be all in on this thing you're chasing, and the world and the universe starts working in your favor.
Mm. Oh man, I love that because it's kind of highlighting that we have a lot more to us than what we really realize. It's just that we're maybe not being intentional with what we're actually doing.
Listen, I always say every day is a blank canvas.
Ooh.
Paint the world you want to see. What's the life you want to live? And people
Mhm.
think I'm crazy, but when you start, I read, am I reading? Hello, if you're not reading, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Becoming supernatural, manifestation, think and grow rich. You want to get you have the burning desire, right?
Mhm.
All these things you start unearthing. How do I do to create the life you want? You know what I mean? Like we have there's this poem, Equipment.
Mhm.
It starts with something like we have all the tools that the greats before us have had.
Yeah.
You have it. You got it inside you. You know what I mean? I could pull up YouTubes of people with no hands, no feet who climb the top mountain, the highest mountains. What's your
Mhm.
story? I got a girl. She overnight she kind of went blind due to this disease.
Mm.
And bro, travels by herself. I mean, if you look at her, she looks like she looking at you, but she
Uh-huh.
can't see.
Huh.
Travels by herself, no walking stick. Just she walks in the spirit like me, an absolute certainty. Why aren't you doing it? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I know comparison is a thief of joy. We're not comparing, we just sharing examples.
Mhm.
Okay. Like you got everything in you, but you got it starts with this. You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Oh. Mhm.
Hey, and until then, it don't matter
Mhm.
what I say, what song you listen to mine, who's pumping into you. You have to decide it's time. It's got to hurt. And until
Mhm.
it hurts bad enough, you're going to stay there
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
like that.
Yep. No, you're 100% right. Because, I mean, whenever I had to get out of my addiction, that's what it was. Like, I finally had enough pain. I was finally
Mm,
tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
mm,
And it was just time for a damn change. And it was one of those things that it lasted 10 years for me. It doesn't have to be that
mhm.
way for other people.
Yeah.
And it's something that what you're saying also is like, did you use that same kind of mindset to get out of the trauma bonds that you may have found yourself in that you accidentally fell into maybe? Or was it something that just kind of came to you one day?
Yeah, I think of if I had to pinpoint a moment, I'd go back to when I left the military. And
Okay.
I mean, here I am, staff sergeant promoted with E6, P, dope career. Decided to I got out prematurely. And when I look
Mm,
back on it, I was blaming my leadership. They ain't take care of me. They set me up for failure.
Mm.
But here's the thing, good people, listeners and viewers. The one person that's to blame is the person that stares back at you when you look in the mirror,
Ugh.
right?
Yeah.
And when I hit that realization, I said, this was me. But this didn't come fast. I was still blaming and complaining, but that's the victim mindset. We like
Mhm.
to hang out there. People
Yeah.
had pity on us, but you had to pivot. So what pivoted for me? My mom's story. My
Okay.
mom's who came from Barbados
Mhm.
to the U.S. Her dad was a fisherman. Her mother sold what he brought in from sea at the market. Both
Mhm.
illiterate. My mom's was one of 11, only girl.
Mm.
And when I sat still, I got this song, I pray, I speak, I meditate, I listen. You got to
Mm.
sit still
Yeah.
and listen, right? And I was like, my mom's came here and had less than I had at any point in time, and she figured it out.
Mhm.
She did enough to give me a chance at success.
Mm.
I got to dig deep. I got to dig deep. It comes down to your why. What are your reasons
Mhm.
for being? What are your reasons for pushing forward? What are your reasons for having the dream that you have?
Mhm.
And those reasons are what carry you through the storms. And
Mhm.
for me, when I sat still and reflected, I was like, you know what? No one's coming to save me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the hero of this story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello. And until you have that realization, and sometimes, I was just like, I just remember poverty and being where I was at, leaving the military, doing decent. Now I'm struggling. And I was just scared of going back to how I grew up.
Mm. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we not doing food stamps no more. Oh, no,
Yeah, yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And so I got sick and tired of being
Mhm.
where I was at. And because remember, foresight is a superpower. And if you look at, I'm here, I'm struggling. There's no upside and like on the horizon. We
Mhm.
got to switch some things up. And I
Yeah.
decided, I said, you know what? I'd rather struggle in New York because I can make it in New York. I know that might sound crazy, but for me, I
Yeah.
can make it in New York. And went back to New York, and again, transformational connections.
Mhm.
Got connected. Some people connected me with NYU. Got back
Mhm.
in the system working, and then few years, it didn't happen overnight.
Mhm.
Um, and I talk about this. So my framework is the 5M formula for success, and this is like the
Okay.
framework in hindsight what I use to break free or have a breakthrough.
Mhm.
Switch my mindset. Stop blaming and complaining. I had to create a mindset. Like, I can change my circumstance. My past doesn't dictate where I'm going, where I want to
Mhm.
go, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Motivation. I told you about my why. What are my reasons? I had to dig deep. Like, I can't go back to poverty. Poverty sucks. I'll never be broke again, right? One of my
Mhm.
affirmations, I used to say this all the time. And another affirmation is I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. And I would say that every day over and throughout the day, right?
Mhm.
Um, Mindset, motivation, money. I was every get rich quick scheme. I'm trying. I'm at it. Well, we can flip this, And
Uh-huh.
error. It don't last. It's temporary.
Mhm.
Um, I had to find my purpose. I had to
Mm.
find my purpose. Like, why am I here? And if you've heard, it's selfless service. It's giving. It's helping others. I have to keep showing up because I don't know who I'm impacting. You right?
Mhm.
There's a quote that really moved me back in the day. It says, "Who loses if I don't win?
Mm.
I gotta win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know who loses, but I can't have them losing because of me."
Uh-huh.
Right? So that's what pushes me through.
Mhm.
Mindset, motivation, money management.
Mhm.
You are the CEO of your life. I had to realize that. Like, I have the power. I have to dictate where I'm at. Management. And whatever you
Mhm.
mismanage, guess what? You lose.
Mm.
Right? So you
Yeah.
gotta manage your life. You gotta manage the people. You gotta bring to certain people in your life. Proximity is power, right?
Hmm.
Building the SEAL Team 6. I had to find my virtual mentors. Les Brown, and I like the OGs, Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, right? I had to start studying Earl Nightingale. I'm watching them black and white joints on YouTube, right? I'm
Yeah.
spending hours doing that and not scrolling, right? And the last one is massive movement. Four types
Mm.
of action. No action, right? Then we got retreating. When you start to do something, you have this goal, then you realize, sheesh, this is harder than I thought. Then you scale back. Don't change the target, increase the action, right?
Ooh.
Then you
Yeah.
got average action. People just show up, happy to be there. But I'm gonna encourage you. Massive action. One of the things I do, I'm not the smartest. I don't know the most, but I move fast, bro. True speed, fast and faster. I'm gonna figure it out in the air. Okay.
Yeah.
While you still thinking and hemming and hawing, I already tried 5 ways, realized they don't work, pivoted, and then figured it out. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my 5M formula to touch success that became my framework, but that's what I went through to get there.
Okay. Oh, thank you for sharing that with us. Real quick, where can people find you and where can they find your book if they're looking for the internet
Yeah,
version of it?
yeah,
What?
yeah. So www.mr mister dash motivation.com. Tap in. You can find me. What if you want to say book me to speak? My book, if you want an author signed copy, you can find it on that website. And then you can also tap into my music, Mr. Motivation Music on Instagram, and then on Spotify, Mr. Motivation, MISTER Motivation. But would love to connect. If anything spoke to you, tap in.
Yeah, thank you for that, man, because this has been an absolutely awesome conversation and I know I'm walking out of this motivated myself, going like, "Oh, man." And it also made me realize that like we I believe we can have a lot more conversation. We've had an hour already fly by. And I feel like there's a whole lot more that we could dive into later on down the road. So my
Yeah,
question is, would you like to be back on the show at some point?
let's do it. I'm with it.
Awesome.
Let's set it up.
Sweet. Well, Mr. Motivation, I do have one last question for tonight
Yeah,
for this episode, if you're ready for it.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Uh, All right. Sean, Mr. Motivation, the name of this podcast is Retrieving Sanity, and we explore how all facets of living life impact mental health. Looking at the incredible motley adventures of your life, what does retrieving sanity personally mean to you today? And what's one practice or perspective you believe is crucial for anyone on that journey?
Retrieving sanity. So we live in a world where people are constantly telling you who you are based on where you're from, what you've been through, or what you didn't have.
Mm,
Uh, and if you're not careful, you're going to start believing it. So it's super important to just tell your story and subscribe to it and believe in that. And I think, um, one of the things you do, I like journaling. I journal a lot. And here's the beautiful thing about journaling. I found one of my old books the other day, and it was just like, I'm gonna start a nonprofit called Wake the Beast, where I can impact helping people with scarcity mindset. And that was probably 6, 7 years ago. And
uh-huh.
good people, listeners and viewers, today I stand before you, proud founder and president of Wake the Beast Inc. Right?
Oh,
And and you'd be like, dang, I wrote this. So journaling is a beautiful thing. Get the thoughts out. And I just want to encourage y'all, man. There's the 5 type of dreamers, right? And Robert Kiyosaki, actually 6.
mhm,
I want you to be the dreamer that dreams big dreams, live them out, and dream bigger.
mm,
And I'll leave you with one quote. Is
okay.
this kind of threads the needle of what we've been talking about here? Nothing changes if nothing changes. Simple.
Yeah. So simple. So simple that it makes me feel like I was really stupid for all that time, but I mean, you're exactly right, like, we have to get desperate for that change,
Yeah,
and in
yeah.
rehab, it was told to me that it's the gift of desperation because,
Mm.
it's kinda like we can hit the rock bottom, but
Mhm,
rock bottom has a basement, and that basement
mhm,
has a basement, but,
mhm.
like, until you're desperate enough to crawl out of that hole,
Yeah.
you're just kind of stuck and just caught in the uh, caught in the winds of addiction, really,
Check, check.
so but, I mean, it's one of those things that I think, like you said, with that transformational connection and everything, and with the nonprofit that you started up and everything that you're doing and showing people that you can live your dreams, you can live your
Mhm,
story out however
mhm,
you want it to be. You don't
mhm,
have to listen to other people's labels and ideas of who you are. You don't have to follow that misconception of who you want to be. And we
mhm.
can do that for ourselves, and we can also help each other out too by being on someone's SEAL Team 6,
SEAL
right?
Team 6, yes, sir.
Okay. So, I mean, it's just one of those things that we are all humans,
Mhm,
and it doesn't feel like a lot of people understand that nowadays. It feels like
mhm.
it's like you're not a human because X, Y, Z, and
XYZ, yeah.
yeah, and I'm the better human. So it's
Mhm.
stupid. So I really thank you for just making everyone realize that they have what it takes to be motivated.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
So, Mr. Motivation, thank you very much for being on Retrieving Sanity, and we will see you next time.
Yes.
And do you got any last words for the audience out there?
No, I mean, I'm a quote guy. I share two with you. Surround
Okay.
yourself with people whose eyes light up when they see you coming. And
Hmm.
mastery lives quietly atop a mountain of mistakes. Mm.
Ooh. Ooh. I love that. And there's something about you and M's, I guess. You
I
like M's a lot.
mean, the play on M's, right?
Yeah.
I like how you caught that. Yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you for listening again to Retrieving Sanity on WDJY 99.1 FM. And as always, don't forget, you gotta love yourself. Try to love others if you can, but you gotta love yourself first. And if you're having any issues with the mental health crisis, you can dial 988. And if you are part of the LGBTQ plus community, you can give the Trevor Project up in Canada a call and they will help you out. And I mean, just go live your dream, make it
Mhm.
bigger. And we will see y'all next time. Much love. Shalom.